Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Butterscotch Rewatch. I am Katie, the Gen X mom.
And I'm Ireland, the Gen Z daughter.
And today we're going to review the movie UHF, which stars Weird Al Yankovic, which is a wonderful classic, cult classic status.
Yeah, the original parody guy.
Yeah. I don't know if any of you have watched our bonus episode, which was the It's Florida Man.
Yeah.
If you're a little shocked by all my profanity, I apologize for that because sometimes that's like my therapy.
You
Is
just gotta
swearing.
let it out.
I did edit a lot of it, which is sad. But that's my therapy. I need to swear sometimes and just go ham. But it is in the warning. I have it explicit, 18 and older only.
Yeah,
so,
this show is explicit though too, so it's like, it comes with the territory. Anytime it's Danny McBride, it comes with the territory. So
yeah. I was almost thinking of doing the Righteous Gemstones one of these.
God. I love the Righteous Gemstones.
I enjoy that show so much.
I do too. I was thinking about rewatching it the other day, just because I remember watching the last season, and I was like, oh, it's it. Now I have to go back to my normal life.
Yeah. Now what do I watch?
But it's fine because the Pit's coming back.
Oh, I know. I'm so excited.
I love the Pit. And what else? I'm on Hulu. The one with the girl
High Potential.
Yes, High Potential is back.
Yeah, I like
I
that
will
too.
watch the new episode. I know it came out yesterday, but I try to watch it the day after because I don't want to stay up and watch it. But
yeah,
I'm so excited.
It's such a good show. Yeah, I'm super excited about the Pit. You excited for the Stranger Things episode that's supposed to hit tonight?
Is that tonight?
Yes.
What? I don't even know what it is. Because then I first saw it on social media because like a true Gen Zer, I get all of my news on TikTok. So I don't fact check anything.
Yeah.
I literally don't care enough. So I just was swiping, and then on Netflix it was like, oh, it looked like it was going to be a behind the scenes episode, but then now all of these people are blowing it out of proportion and saying there's 3 hours of unedited or 3 hours of footage that they took out of the finale and blah 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 blah. I'm like, okay, so now I'm just kind of here.
Yeah, I don't think it's happening. I mean, I would love for it to happen.
I would like a behind the scenes.
Yeah,
I would love just what's his name, Jamie Campbell Bower King.
Oh, just have him standing
No,
there.
that's what I'm saying. Even in Vecna, that's fine. I don't care. I just love his personality and all of his interviews. If anybody ever tries to social media train him, please don't ever. He is so funny. He's like Renee Rapp. Renee Rapp does not care about what she says. He literally does not care. I love him. Yeah. So
we need more genuine people.
I know, literally.
especially in the Hollywood.
And Noah Schnapp. Oh my god, I freaking love him too. I hope I said that right. But he's amazing. He's so funny. I'm so happy that he actually is a normal character this season. So
yeah. So you went back to teaching on Monday. You had to go back from your vacation.
Well, okay, so if anybody is a teacher out there and is listening, you understand how it is. We get Sunday scaries so bad. That's a term that they use if you're hungover and you're you're getting the scaries. But for teaching every Sunday, no matter if you've been teaching all week or whatever, or maybe you've been off, every Sunday is a scary Sunday because we are always dreading not going to work on Monday. Mm-hmm. And this was especially terrible. Well, not terrible. I love my kids. I love my job. I love teaching. It's amazing. But it was especially terrible because I was replacing my last class of the day. Were my Angels all senior class. It was a dual credit course, so it was all kids that chose to be in that class and know that they're going to college. So it was literally they were angelic to teach. Love them. But now I go into this semester ending with freshmen, and it's a freshman class, and it's just a hot mess. If anybody knows, the freshmen, just the younger, Gen Alpha is crazy. I know Gen Z is crazy, but if you think Gen Z is crazy, imagine that but hyped up on AI and all of these endless opportunity. These kids are nuts. I love them, but they're absolutely insane. So the only way that you can actually get them to not just you, but to actually respect you and do what they need to do in class, you kind of have to bully them a little bit, but also joke, but then also be like, bro, what are we doing? So that's been a kind of a change. It's not great. I'm getting used to it again because I'm not really used to teaching freshmen anymore because I'm very lucky and I teach usually older kids, but they're funny. It's just like it's a dynamic. It's a shift in the dynamic. So
yeah. You're like, oh great, this is the new generation. Can't wait to oh no.
I know. I look at my roster and I still think like in my building, I'm a pretty young teacher. I am not the youngest teacher, but like I'm fairly young. And I look at my kids that I have in class, their rosters, they were born in 2011 and they're in high school. Oh. I'm like, Jesus Christ, like and that makes me feel old, but then also my co-teachers I work with are like, could be my parents. So it's like they feel old when I say I'm old and I don't want it to be like that, but it does make me feel old. Yeah. But I don't know.
Well, just another semester and then it's spring or then it's summer. So
we do have, you know what, being a teacher is amazing. You get all of the holidays, you get all the not even normal holidays off, and you know, it's a lot. It takes a toll on your body. Yeah. It's very stressful.
Yeah.
But worth it.
I don't know how you do it because I would not be able to do it at all. I'd be like, you mean I can't take this chair and throw it at a kid?
Yeah, I mean,
that's how we saw things back in the day.
I know. I know teachers that get chairs thrown at them. Like, not at our school. Mm-hmm. High school, that doesn't usually happen unless there's some real behavioral issues and discipline issues. But, like, I could never teach elementary or middle school, especially middle school. Middle schoolers are a different breed. I know I teach them, like, after that, but they mature a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. But middle schoolers terrify me, but I know a lot of elementary school teachers that's been happening a lot more. More physical violence, more verbal abuse, scratching, biting.
Yeah, it's so weird.
Craziness. But,
so weird. Yeah.
Thank God I've never had an issue like that. Mm-hmm. Kids mouth off to me, I'm like, all right, Dean, sorry. Like, you know what? I'm sorry that you feel that way, but like there's 26 others in this class I gotta teach, so if you have a problem, I'm just gonna call the dean. Cool. Yeah. Great. I'm glad we're on the same page.
Well, that sounds exciting. All right. You're like, no, it doesn't sound exciting.
It's fine.
All right. So let's get into UHF. It stars, like I said previously, Weird Al Yankovic. He's playing George Newman. And Victoria Jackson, she is from Saturday Night Live. She plays his girlfriend, Terry. Michael Richards, who you will know probably as Kramer from Seinfeld. He's Stanley Spadowski. He plays the janitor. I put Anthony Geary in here as Philo because I love the character Philo, but he is from General Hospital. He just passed away, unfortunately. He is the famous Luke from the Luke and Laura love story that spanned like decades. So if you've watched General Hospital, Luke and Laura, he's Luke. He plays Philo in this. Fran Drescher. We all know Fran Drescher.
I love my queen.
Many different things.
I have seen The Nanny like 16 separate times. I love The Nanny. But I also just love Fran Drescher as a person, too. She's amazing.
She's going to play Pamela. She's kind of like the receptionist that's waiting to get her big break in like broadcasting. It's a fun little thing for her. It's directed by Jay Levy. It was written by, of course, Weird Al and Jay Levy. And then Chris Holloway was a writer too, but he did the Conan the Librarian scene. So he wasn't like a full writer. But he still gets the Conan the Librarian.
Conan the Librarian is epic.
Yes. I'm sorry, these books are late. All right, so we start off in the movie. We start off with like a spoof of Indiana Jones.
The Raiders of the Lost Ark, is that
Raiders of the Lost Ark, that's it. I'm so used to the Temple of Doom.
Yeah.
And it's that scene in the beginning where it's like him and two guys, like guides, and they're going through the jungle and they're trying to find that cave, which has the silver or the gold, medallion thingy in it. And one of the men, like they're stopped and one of the men pulls out a gun. And Weird Al's character takes out his whip and whips the guy's whole arm off. And the guy, nothing, there's no blood or anything. And then the guy goes, and then he just runs away.
Yeah, just like, oh. No, it was giving Hot Shots Part 2. Like when they're like throwing like the gummy bears and stuff like that.
Oh, we got to put that on a list, darn it. Hot shots part 2. And then he finally gets to the cave, and they enter through like a spider web, and it's like a little, instead of just going like, oh, spider webs, they just like open it, and they like carefully go through the spider webs, probably because the production team's like, or the director's like, I don't want to have to set this up again, do it nicely. And then the one guy goes, oh no, we have to go back, and he sees like a statue, and the statue's making like the like pulling his mouth and doing that, and he's like, it's dangerous, and he runs away, and for some reason when he runs out of the cave, he gets hit by a train. What?
Like right outside the entryway too. It's like literally right outside. We're like, hello.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, it's so stupid. I love
so
it.
that guy's gone.
Yeah, he gone.
And then George continues on through the warning signs, and I mean warning signs. Like,
no, literally says like point of no return, like wrong way, do not. And then like even at like the police like yellow tape, like do not cross.
So after he continues through there, he sees it's a gold Oscar. But obviously they don't have the rights to the actual Oscar statue. So this Oscar has his hands folded like this over his crotch. That's what it is. Perfect. And he does the whole like, like with the bag of sand, he takes the sand out and he's going to switch it. And then he just throws the sand and he's like, screw it. And then he just grabs the statuette, and of course the place starts crumbling. So he's running and running and running through. And then here comes the ball. And he's running through like the Alps in like a forest in like New York City or something like that.
Yeah,
and
so
then
he literally turns on a street, and the boulder literally comes out of the alley and then turns to him. Like,
yes, yeah, oh yeah, it's definitely following him throughout. And then it eventually rolls over him. He's smushed on the ground in great fashion. And then we just hear like a sizzling sound, and it's George is daydreaming while he's cooking burgers at his job. I think it's Big Edna Burgers. Yeah. So
he kind of gets like cut out of his daydream. Apparently this is something that he does a lot, because his friend, what's his friend's name? Bob. So these names are great.
I know.
So Bob is like trying to get George's attention because he's definitely like burning this burger that's on the grill. And they kind of are having a conversation like, why are you daydreaming? Like, we can't lose this job. It sounds like they tend to lose a lot of jobs in the past, and doesn't ever seem to be Bob's fault. It always seems to be George's fault because he's just spacing out like an idiot. And then we see George like kind of making a comment about Big Edna, because Bob's like, oh my gosh, no, like you need to make sure that you're working, because they burn like a bunch of fries and stuff like that. We're like, oh, we can't let Big Edna see this. And George is like, oh, Big Edna, that phony, like saying some interesting things about her, like, oh, she never comes around. And then we see our girl Big Edna cutting around the corner, and she means business. This girl is Big Edna. And she just grabs them both by the seat of their pants basically, and throws them out of the restaurant. So we can just
throws them far.
Yeah. Oh yeah. She definitely did like javelin and like shot put in discus when she was in like high school or college or something, but she yeeted them the heck out of there, and we can only assume that they are not welcome back.
So obviously they're fired. They drive back to their place, which is next to a karate studio. As they're, getting out of the car, somebody flies out of the window of the karate studio.
No, just usual.
And George goes, hey, hi, Cooney, beginner's class today. And Cooney goes, yes, and they are so stupid. And then another guy flies out the window and he goes, so stupid. And did we confirm that that's Long Duck Dong from 16 Candles? Okay,
so yes, from 16 Candles, when they have the foreign exchange students staying with them for like that weekend, I feel like I immediately knew that it was him, but I did not look it up to confirm.
I'm pretty sure that's him.
But I literally texted my mom yesterday as I was watching this just to like make my notes or whatever, and I literally was like, oh my god, is that Long Duck Dong? And she goes, I think so. So
I'm 99% sure, because we're pretty good at being like, oh my god,
yeah, like we're those annoying people when we're watching a movie or a show. We're like, oh, this person from this, and this, or oh, I know that guy from somewhere. He's in everything, but I couldn't name a single thing, and then you have to look it up. Ah, perfect. I was gonna say he has like just his like facial features and just like his like personality. I was like, that 100% is him, because he is so funny in 16 Candles. Yes. When he's with like the jock girl.
Yes.
Oh my god.
The big tall girl.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Yeah. So they go inside their apartment, and he's trying to cheer up Bob. George is trying to cheer up Bob, and he makes him his like Twinkie wiener sandwich. Is that what he calls it?
Yes. Like it's like a hot dog Twinkie thing with like mustard on it. I don't know what it was.
Yeah, he slices a Twinkie, and then he puts a hot dog in it, and then puts like mustard on it. He's like, here you go.
Ugh. Disgusting.
Yeah, pretty gross. And he's trying to cheer him up, and he's like, you basically ruined my life. You keep ruining my life. You know, Bob's like, he's just like, dude, keep a job. And then George goes, oh no, what time is it? And an arm flies through the wall, and he like turns and he goes, 7:30, I'm late. Oh no. So he's late to go meet his girlfriend Terry. She made mashed potatoes, and George is sculpting something out of it. He was so excited for the mashed potatoes. He's like, I'm sorry. And he's like, you made mashed potatoes. And then he's like doing this like volcano out of it. He's always daydreaming kind of. Yeah. So, and then we catch him at Uncle Harvey's house.
Yeah, so Uncle Harvey's house is kind of funny, just to like the background people, and then also just George in general. So we first kind of cut to just like the little, I guess like a kitchen foyer area kind of thing, and George is just talking to his aunt, and is like, oh, where's Uncle Harvey? And she's like, oh, you know, he's at work again, blah, 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 like he's working late, but he'll be right here. And Uncle Harvey is not really working. He's putting in that work, but he is not working because he is gambling at the poker table, playing their poker game with a bunch of other fellows there. And during this poker game, he ends up winning a lot of money, as well as he's also gets a call from, oh God, what?
Big Louie.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Big Louie, who we never see their face or anything like that, but he calls and is just like, hey, your horses did well at the race today. You won, you know, this amount of money, and it was just a big chunk of money. So Uncle Harvey is flying high. But not only did Uncle Harvey win some money, he won the rights to a TV station, which is Station 62.
62. Mm-hmm. Yep.
And he is just like, oh, well, we're just going to sell it. Like, this has not been, like, there has not been a set manager or just, like, kind of owner of this for a long time. It's been low on the, what's it called? Like, the ratings list.
It's like the bottom
really
of the
flat in the ratings. Yeah. There's literally nothing that really shows on this channel. I'm just going to scrap it. I'm going to get money for it. And this whole time, when George and Aunt were talking, like, he's just like, oh, I got fired from my job again. Like, I need to find another job, whatever. So Auntie's going to put in the work, and she's like, you know what? I think I have somebody perfect for you that can manage this Channel 62. And Uncle Harvey is not happy about the George decision.
Yeah. He's like, oh, no, not him. I feel that Aunt Esther absolutely loves George and is always on George's side. She's like that aunt that's like, he can do no wrong. She's always on his side. So, and she also controls Uncle Harvey. I feel like she's like,
got him whipped. Absolutely. And you know what? Go crazy, Esther. She's honestly so funny in this movie.
Yep. So Terry and George decide to go to the station at night, just to check it out. And they see Philo, and he says, I'm Philo. I'm the chief engineer. And it's like in a crazy lab room. It looks like
it's like the set of Bill Nye the Science Guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's the best way I can describe it.
And he says, oh, I just live here. This is where I live. So I'm always here. So I was like, okay, cool. So the next morning, George goes to the station with Bob, and we meet Pamela, who's Fran Drescher, who is currently the secretary. And when he introduces himself as the new station manager, she throws a fit saying she was promised to be promoted to the news anchor, but since the boss has changed so much, nothing's been happening. She's been working there for 2 years, waiting for her big break. Then she gets a package. They get a package, like the mailman brings a package. Now, I could swear that the mailman, that he said nothing, and the second time he delivered mail, it looked like the mailman from Better Off Dead.
The one that asked if Beth was single?
Yes, him. Yeah, and that was asking. Yeah.
Oh, really? It probably was, because those came out around similar times.
Yeah, so
They were
I was
in the 80s, so that makes sense.
And because he didn't say anything, he's not credited. So I was just like,
I mean, because he literally is in there for 0.4 seconds.
Yeah,
but
yeah, but it looked like him.
That's cool.
So this package is supposed to be for RJ Fletcher. He runs Channel 8. He's like the #1 station. He's he's like network affiliated, so he's like big time, you know. And George is like, well, I'll take it to him, because, you know, Pamela's like, oh, we'll just send it back. And he's like, no, I'll take it. And she's like, I don't think that's a good idea. He's not really a nice guy. And he goes, it would be good to know. He's like, it would be good to meet him, you know, the competition. You just got to know how to talk to these guys.
God. Whatever gives him his confidence, I want some of that, because this man is the most confident person in like a movie I've seen. But now we cut to at Channel 8. We are just in RJ's office, and RJ is just having a grand old time screaming at his son. And not only just his son, but also like the 2 other kind of, I'm going to call them like goons, because it's just like the 3 like bros are always together, because one got the job because his daddy's in charge, because his daddy's daddy was also in charge before he passed away. So there's like a family affair happening here. And then whoever the son and like probably his frat brother friend from like Sig Pie or something like that. Just 2 other cubicle bros. And RJ is absolutely screaming at his son, like in the face. And it's just because of a #2 pencil.
Yeah, it wasn't a #2 pencil.
Please tell me you guys heard that. My dog just threw the bone out of her mouth for herself. She threw it forward.
I heard that. It looked like somebody was like trying to get in.
No, I thought someone was trying to break in, or like Nick fell down the stairs or something. No, it was definitely Daisy launching her like bone marrow bone across the room.
Is she outside? Is she outside or in with you?
Yeah, no, she's not with me. She's in the hallway. Because I kicked her out, because sometimes she's like, get the zoomies, and then she's whining. I'm like, girl, I do this like an hour a week.
I know.
Can you give me some time? Like, she's my shadow. I get that. I love her so much, but homegirl's nuts. Yeah, but he's literally screaming at his son because it's not a #2 pencil that was given to him. And also, now this man is freaking out because he doesn't know where the research report is. And of course, it is always everybody else's fault. He is never in the wrong.
Right.
So RJ's going absolutely nuts. He's like, of course, one of the cubicle bros is like, oh, well, I just put it on your desk before I left yesterday. And RJ's like, oh, of course, it wouldn't just be, you know, it had to be the janitor that misplaced it or threw it away. So I'm going to call him immediately. So he calls him in, and we meet Stanley for the first time here. And he is just so cute. Like, I just love, he's just like a nerdy little guy, and he just loves his mop. He loves being a janitor. He's just living for it. And he's been working at the station for 15 years, I think he said later to George. So he's been there for a long time, very dedicated. And he literally comes in, and 4 seconds later, RJ is absolutely ripping into him. He's like, where is it? And of course, Stanley has no idea, because Stanley probably never saw it in the first place. And RJ is just ripping into him like, you are worthless. Like, that's all you're ever going to be good for is a janitor, and blah, blah, blah. And now you're fired. Literally nothing, does nothing. He literally just fires him, and Stanley has no choice but then just to leave.
Yeah, and he takes Stanley's mop.
Yes, and yeah, RJ then takes Stanley's mop, and it's a very important mop.
Yeah, he's had it since he was 6. It's his mop.
Yeah, it's
like, not like it's a company mop.
Yeah, that was like his present for his birthday when he was younger. And it's just, why would you rip that from him?
Yeah, and while this is like, before this happens a little bit, George comes in. He just like kind of walks in by RJ, and he's just like, hey, hey, I'm this guy. And he's like, I'm going to call the cops, get out of here, and then George just leaves. It was just like a very quick, the guy's a dick, RJ's a dick.
Yeah.
George is too nice. And he's like, you're scum, get out of my way.
I did think it was funny that as soon as, because that no one has ever spoken up to RJ ever in his entire life. Mm-hmm. I do love that in the movie when George comes and is like, oh, hey, nice to meet you. Like, oh, I have this. And then like everybody in the office just like turned to them and was just silent for the entire duration of their conversation because they were probably like, wait, what? But yeah.
And then Pam has got her first news job. So she's waiting. She calls George and she's waiting for the new cameraman. And she's on the payphone. Back in the days, payphones. And she's like, I don't know where he's at. He's like, he should be there. He should be there. And then you hear someone go, oh, you talking about me? And it's this like, it's Noodles. Noodles. He's about 2.5 feet tall, maybe. And he's got this big old camera that's so old because back in that day, cameras were huge. Like
like the broadcasting cameras.
Yeah, they're still pretty big today, but
for sure.
Yeah, definitely like boxy and like, yeah. And she's like, oh, okay, all right, let's do this. And she's trying to like push in because she wants to talk to the mayor who just did like the budgets for the year. And Richard, who's RJ's son, Weasley little son, and then one of his goon best friends or whatever.
Yeah, cubicle bro.
Yeah, they're getting ready. And when she's trying to push in, they like push her out. Mm-hmm. And like she's just like kind of like bummed out like that. And then eventually they do shoot her, but Noodles is so small that like it's
like Fran Drescher is stunning. She has no double chins. Me, on a good day, in the camera in my face, I have a double chin. So I do not know how this angle, like she still looked good at this angle because it's basically like if she was getting recorded from like her kneecaps, basically, like the camera was there. So it was definitely an interesting angle, but they couldn't see anything in the background either. So it was like kind of a hard broadcast.
Yeah, so they trip. So what happens is RJ's Richard, he trips Noodles, and he falls, and he falls to the ground, and then the signal cuts out, and he's like, "Oh, did I do that? Oopsie!" And then the other sleazy guy, his friend, tells Fran Drescher, Pam, that to take his advice that, excuse my language, broads don't belong in broadcasting. She's pushed out of the way, and then Noodles got a little cut on his, like, big cut on his arm from getting tripped over. I felt so bad. So she tries to complain. It shows her at the station. She's trying to she's trying to complain to Channel 8 about what happened, and of course RJ for some reason answers. Why is he answering phones?
I don't know
why he would be talking. But anyway, so of course it's RJ, and he says, I don't know how many times I've told those guys not to call chicks broads. Gross.
Yeah, well, he calls them chicks because he can never get any, so.
Right.
Disgusting.
Yeah.
Whoever told this man he could speak.
Yeah, he just, so of course she's like, ugh, she's like defeated and just
hangs up. They're all pigs.
Yeah, gross.
Well, on another note.
We finally get our first show.
Yes, if we did not mention it before, I can't remember. Sometimes I have the ADHD and now I'm spacing out like George Newman. So George ends up offering Stanley a job at the TV.
Yes.
I couldn't remember if we were
as he's walking out. Yes.
But as he's getting pretty much pushed out by RJ and called like an idiot basically for even existing, because he just gave him the package and he's like, okay, actually I'm on my way because RJ threatened to call the cops. That's when he runs into Stanley, and of course Stanley is so distraught because he's just emotionally distraught because he's been working there for 15 years. They stole his mop from him because he had that since he was 8, I believe, from his mom. His mom bought him that for his birthday, and this is really all he knows what to do. Like, he is so passionate about being like a janitor that this is what he truly cares about. So he's very distraught, and George sees that, and George is like, you know what, I think I can help you out. We could probably use a janitor.
Yeah. So he does hire him. You're right.
Yeah. Um, so now we're back at channel 62, and now George is trying to play around a little bit because obviously these ratings have been god awful for who even knows how long, because this channel has been passed around so much, probably gambled away by all of these poker games. But now we get to have a time for Town Talk. So Town Talk is just this little show that George is putting together from people that are from the area and kind of learning more about what they do. So the first special guest is the most interesting shop teacher I have ever seen. And they're just wearing like their little overalls. They're like, I don't even know if I would say shy. They're very soft-spoken, it kind of seems like high out of their mind at all times. Like, they're just very, like, la 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 la.
Yeah, he's got suspenders on.
I guess spacey is the best way I could describe it.
Yeah.
And, of course, the best thing that they could possibly show is how to use a table saw from the shop class. So George is like, oh, like, show me how to use the table saw. And the shop teacher is like, okay, like, they're just, like, chatting, whatever. And the shop teacher, of course, I believe also probably has ADHD or is very busy and is, like, not even looking at the table saw, talking to George, making small talk. And then all we see is, or all we hear is, like, a and we just see blood start gushing from this guy's thumb. And literally, like, I would have passed out. I would have literally been like, oh my god, and passed out.
Yeah.
This man was like, oh man, I'm so clumsy. I think it's on the floor somewhere.
Everywhere.
It's really squirting all over his face. It's squirting all over George. And he's like, oh, my face is so red. Ho ho ho. Like, he literally, it's like, I could not even believe my eyes when I'm watching this. I'm like, what the actual heck is going on? So then obviously we have to cut to a commercial. What is our lovely commercial about?
Oh, Spatula City. Oh. Well, if you need a spatula, that's what they got. They sell spatulas and that's it. It just starts with like a mom going, now where did I put that spatula? And the dad's like, we need to go to Spatula
Honey,
City.
let's go.
And the kids are like, yay! They all get in the car and they go into the Spatula City. It's just spatulas everywhere. And people, it's packed. And they're like, if you buy 9 spatulas, you get the 10th for free, or 10th one for a penny.
Yeah.
It says, we're in the yellow pages under spatulas. And then it also says that it's open till midnight.
Who needs a spatula at 11:59 at night?
And when they're driving, the like families driving to Spatula City, you see a billboard that's like Spatula City open till midnight. You know, we sell spatulas. That's it. You know, it's
oh
yeah. So that's a nice little parody.
I love that.
Yeah. And then we see George trying another show. It's called Uncle Nutsy's Clubhouse. There's like 7 kids there, and they're all like,
This is like the saddest Mickey Mouse Club I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah. And he's like, what's your name? And then the kid goes, Billy, and then he spits on George. And then poor Bobo. Bob is Bobo the clown. He gets hit with a frying pan because George is like, look up, look down, look here. And then it's just like hits him with the frying pan. And then he's like, oh, we're going to be, you know, he's like, oh, be sure to try, I don't know what the name of them. It's like Grandma June's butter cookies. And he's shoving the cookies in Bob's mouth. And he's like, oh, they're dog treats. He picked the wrong box. So this poor man is eating, and they're like shoving them in his mouth, and he's trying to act like they're good because he's thinking like, oh, well, they're a sponsor. This is like the only money we're getting. And and he's just like, ew. And then George looks and he goes, oh, whoops, that's dog treats.
My
Hope
bad.
you enjoy that.
And you just hear Bob like retching in the background. Like,
yeah, it's like
guts out. Poor guy.
liver and tuna flavor with some cheese. I think it was
like your dog will love these. Not human approved.
Yeah, not human approved. And then Pamela's still doing the news, and she's just interviewing this weird guy. These are a lot of just quick, like, boop, boop, boop. So she's interviewing a guy who's against gun control, and then he likes to let everyone know that guns don't kill people. I do. So that was
cool, bro. Cool.
I like that mentality.
That makes me feel a little bit better. Great.
Yeah, awesome. We don't need gun control.
God.
Yeah. So then it cuts to Terry now. I think she's a dental hygienist.
Yeah, I think so.
She's working on somebody's teeth, and it's a special bulletin. Happy birthday, Terry. I'm taking you and your parents out for dinner. And she's working on a patient, and then she like you hear the zzz, and it goes, and the guy moves. Yeah. And we click to another commercial. What's this commercial for, Ireland? Do you remember
So this commercial is contrary to popular belief, not Toys R Us. It's Plots R Us. And Plots R Us is a mortuary service, so where people buy plots of land to spend the rest of their lives in when they pass away. And in this commercial, there are literal limbs sticking out of the ground.
Like an arm that's
arms, legs, you name it. And don't worry, there are two things that we need to look forward to with this. There's plenty of free parking. And then they're also, do never forget to visit the salad bar. Love it. Absolutely love it.
Bar. Oh.
God.
I'm sure that wasn't health coded.
Definitely not. Did not pass anything.
Sure. You could have a buffet style salad bar in a mortuary where there's decomposing bodies and embalming and stuff. Yeah. And then we catch George again. He's sitting at his desk working on something when he hears the Beverly Hillbillies in the background, because I feel like the show plays I heard Mr. Ed when he first came into there, and then Beverly Hillbillies. So I think it's that channel Gen Xers used to have that was on the black and white TV that you turn and be oh, it's the only one that comes, and I think it's 26 or something.
Which not fuzzy.
26. So George starts to fall asleep, and George is daydreaming, and then you start hearing the beginning part to the Dire Straits' "Money for Nothing," and that was that cool video that they were all what's the best way to describe? It's cartoony, but it's really
it's just very trippy. I don't really know.
Mad Max
Yeah, I guess I would say way to describe.
Yeah, not Mad Max and the Thunderdome Mad Max, but the Max Headroom. That's it. That's not Mad Max.
Yeah. I know what you meant.
Yeah, that's what I meant. So very boxy like that. The characters are very boxy like that. And then we get a glimpse of George. He's got the bandana on because that is what the singer of Dire Straits wears in the Money for Nothing video, and he literally starts singing the Beverly Hillbillies theme song, but to Money for Nothing. It's really great, and we all know that Weird Al is pure gold when it comes to his parodies. He does a great job. I mean, and so it goes through that, and then it cuts to Terry and her parents waiting at the restaurant.
Yeah, for dinner.
What are you wearing?
I don't know. I was like, did she get stood up at prom? I didn't know what was going on.
The sleeves are like this. They
yes.
Were, she couldn't, it was to her ears. It's just
it reminded me of the, no, it's not 16 Candles. Pretty in Pink, before she did the dress, because it had the poofy sleeves or whatever. I was like, that's kind of what it reminded me of. But Homegirl was really going hard, and she totally had the 80s hair going.
Oh, for sure.
Totally had the 80s hair. She had because it's that little fringe. Everybody had that little fringe. I don't know.
Almost everybody.
I wasn't alive yet. You were so happy when grunge was a thing.
When just straight hair was the thing, because I could not get my hair to...
Yeah, no Aquanet does not agree with our hair. We have very thin, fine hair. I would love if I had, a lot of hair, but only, but if it was fine, that would be whatever. But we literally have, 2 hairs on our head, and it's very fine. So it's just... Yeah. when I was in competitive cheerleading, I had to get like the Snooki poof going on, and it literally took an army of like 4 girls to do the Snooki poof for me every single time. It was terrible.
Yeah.
So Terry's obviously not happy. She calls, and then she's literally like, I never want to see you again. We are done. Like, she calls George. She's like, are you serious? This is so pathetic. Never want to see you again. Goodbye. And George is about to go on his show. So he's still at the station, and of course Bob is right there with him. And
this is when he tells him that they have about a week. They can keep the station open until the end of the week, and that's it.
Yeah, and that's it. If they don't turn a profit, then they got to figure something else out.
Yeah.
And not only has George just got broken up with, he's obviously upset, but now he learns that this is something that this is something that allowed his drive to kind of come out of him. So of course he's upset about this too. So it's kind of a double whammy. And of course he's like doing that thing where he's thinking to himself, he's like, oh, I really thought this time would be different. Like, this is finally something that I really care about. Oh, at least I have my girlfriend. And he's like, just kidding. I just forgot that 10 seconds ago she broke up with me. And yeah, all of that fun stuff. So now he's about to go on to Uncle Nutsy's house again. And George is anything but Uncle Nutsy. He is Uncle Depressy right now.
Correct.
So he obviously is going out there. He just got broken up with the love of his life. And he just learned that his TV channel is probably going to be no more at the end of the week. And he's just talking about how terrible life is. And just acting super depressed, and the kids in the audience are literally like falling asleep. They're literally like slumped over, or they're like yawning, they're bored. And then he starts to introduce a kind of Roadrunner cartoon that they're explaining, and then just like walks off the set.
Yeah, and he when he's describing it's the Roadrunner cartoon, the WB or whatever. What is it? Warner Brothers.
Warner Bros. Yeah.
And he's on the side of the coyote telling everybody how horrible this Roadrunner is, and he just beats up this coyote that's done nothing, and it ruins his day. And it was just so funny. It was like classic. You're just like depressed, and you're like, everything sucks. So after he introduces, he just leaves. He's like, and then he runs into Stanley and goes, hey, Stanley, how would you like your own TV show? And he goes, oh, okay. And he goes, here, have at it. And George and Bob go to the bar. It looks like it was like next door.
Yeah.
Just pretty walkable. Yeah, like down the street or something. Yeah. And then you hear the bartender say, I have it on now. I haven't seen anything like it. And then George and Bob sit down. George orders a blueberry daiquiri. Bob's like, I'll have a beer.
I was gonna say, before even any of this, Bob is like, you don't even drink, and George is like, well, I've always wanted to start. And then and then when the bartender goes up there, like when they finally get there, Bob is like, oh, I'll have a beer. And then he's like, and for you? And George is like, I'll have a blueberry daiquiri. Like, what? I've literally never even heard of that. That's insane.
Yeah.
Jail time. That deserves jail time.
Right.
In the mid-afternoon, he's ordering a blueberry daiquiri.
Yeah. So as they're drinking, everybody gets up behind them gets up behind them and goes closer to the bar, and they're watching the TV, and they notice that Stanley is now Stanley Spadowski's clubhouse. The audience is full. And it's kids cheering. And
yeah, they're enamored with him. They love this man.
Yeah. And Stanley shows him their mop, the mop that George got him. He says, George is really sweet and got me my mop. He's my friend. And George's like, aw. He's like, it's not the same as my original mop that I've had since I've been 6, but this is a really good mop. And then he does like a kind of like a motivational speech, like when life's getting you down, you gotta get up, and no matter what, just a nice little sweet from the heart kind of thing. And then everybody cheers for him, like the bar's cheering, the kids are cheering. I mean, everybody's cheering, and they're just like, so George and Bob go back to the station, and Pam is the phone's ringing off the hook, and she's like, No, his name is Stanley Spadowski. I don't know if he's single.
Yes, I don't know if he's single. I can ask.
Yeah. So, and then the kids surround Stanley at the end. Yeah, and they were so excited to see him because I'll see you guys next time. They were like so excited. They're like, yay! And then he comes out and he tells George, I finished the TV show, and then he gets back to mopping.
Yeah, he's right back where he wants to be.
Yeah, but George asked Stanley, like, do you want the show? It can be your show. And he's like, can I still be the janitor? And he's like,
he's so cute.
I guess. And he goes, great, I'll do it. And then we cut to another episode of Stanley Spadowski's right away, and bigger crowd, bigger set. Everything is way fancier.
Yeah, definitely very flashy now.
Yeah. And then we cut to Bob. Bob's like, oh my God, George, the show is sold out for 3 months. This is crazy. They love him. Like, sponsors love him. It's great. And he's like, if we had a few more shows like this, we would be in business. So George has some ideas.
These ideas, we've watched this like a long time ago. Like the very first time I ever saw this, I was probably like 16 or 17 years old. So it's been a hot minute. So rewatching this, I was like, oh my God, we say this in the house all of the time. And I forgot that this is the movie that it was from. So the first thing that we have here, we're bringing back Cooney. Remember the man that was just throwing people out the window from the karate studio?
The karate school.
And this show is called Wheel of Fish. Not Wheel of Fortune, Wheel of Fish. So one of the contestants here kind of wins a chance to spin the wheel. So we have Phyllis Weaver with us.
Weaver.
Weaver. And Cooney is like, so excited. He's like, all right, now you get a chance to spin the wheel. We have, whitetail, or what's not whitetail? Like whitefish. We have, I don't even know what else. Like
he's like a tilapia tuna. Yeah,
tilapia tuna.
Yeah.
Ooh, red snapper. And she literally spins the wheel. And she wins the red snapper. He goes, very tasty. And basically, she can make a decision, right? I don't really remember. I guess maybe this happens in Price or Right. What's the other one I'm thinking of? Where it's like, oh, you can pick door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3.
Oh, let's make a deal.
Yeah, let's make a deal. It's like, not press your luck, but yes, let's make a deal. So it was kind of giving that, except for with fish in boxes. So literally this woman's holding a red snapper, and it's a big fish. And Cooney's like, let me make it interesting. So you can either go home and keep your red snapper, or you can go for what's in the box. And this lady's just like, holding the box. And of course, Phyllis is like, girl, I'm going to go with the box. And what is under that box?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
And this man... Cooney is not shameful. This man literally points in her face and is like, ha, stupid, you're so stupid. There's nothing under that box. Give me that red snapper back, you idiot. So, that's it. That was it for that show.
He literally says it, stupid! You're so stupid!
I would have died of embarrassment. I get secondhand embarrassment like so bad, so I was even like, I felt bad for her, even though this is definitely like a parody movie. But I was just like, oh, poor Phyllis.
And then we're gonna just cut to a couple other ones. So we've got Philo. He says, welcome to Secrets of the Universe. Today we're going to make uranium from common household items. Okay, great. Skip him.
Oh, God.
And then we have Raoul's Wild Kingdom, live from his apartment. It's a very small apartment. And he says, let's talk about turtles. Nature's suction cup.
So this man literally takes the bottom, like the turtle, right? I'm pretty sure, what does he do? Like lick his hand and like put it on the turtle? Yeah. And then he throws that bitch up in the air and it sticks. And then he just, instead of like, oh, let me get it, he walks away.
Yep.
Instead of him waiting for him to come down or anything, he literally just walks, he's like, oh, let's go to the next thing.
And then as George and Bob are watching this, they're like,
where did you find this guy?
Yeah, where'd you find this guy? He goes, I thought you found this guy. And he goes, no.
This man is just recording himself and streaming himself.
We don't know why he's on there. So he goes to his ant farm, and he likes to say that, ants are very interesting. They build intricate tunnels, so it's got the like little ant farm with little tunnels in the sand, and he's like, he grabs it like an Etch-a-Sketch, and he just like shakes it, and he goes, oh, they're gonna be really mad at me. And I was like,
girl, what are we doing?
They work so hard on that. Like,
right.
And then he goes, I'm also teaching poodles how to fly. So he grabs one of the poodles and he like throws it out of the window, and you hear a thud. And he does it again. He throws another dog, and you hear the thud, and he's like, okay, well, they're not ready to fly right now. And as they're shooting from outside of the apartment,
God.
you see a pile of, there's stuffed animals,
I
obviously.
Know, but it's just like, what are we doing?
Yeah, again, this is in 1989.
Oh, yeah.
But like...
From the mind of Weird Al, I understand.
Yeah.
But I literally saw that, and I was like, oh my god, are you for real? It's literally like a pile of stuffed poodles, like 7 or 8. Like, this is a lot of poodles out there.
Yeah, and it's like, the fact that this guy just made himself go on the station, and he's doing all this wacky shit, like, it's like, what the hell? Dude.
Yeah, what is even going on?
Yeah, and then that's the end of Raoul's Wild Kingdom.
Very wild.
So George calls Terry, and on the answering machine, he asks her to give him another chance. So he's like, please, 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 I love you, my life's over without you, I love you, please, 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 please. It's like the longest, like, took up her whole tape, because back in those days, you had the tape that you had to rewind. And yeah, so he's trying to get Terry back, obviously. And then it's Father's Day. So we cut to RJ and Richard giving his dad a gift. What does he give him, Ireland?
What does he give him? All I know is that this man got something in a nice box, and it wasn't a Rolex, so this man was pissed.
They don't show what it was, because the dad was so disgusted. Yeah, sorry. I kind of set you up for failure there. What was in the box, Ireland? You have X-ray vision?
I guess. What's in the box?
Yeah, and he's like, oh, it better be a Rolex. And then he opens it, and he just like throws it. And he's like,
literally whips it and then starts screaming at his son's face. He's like, I wanted a Rolex, like, blah, blah, like, this guy treats him like shit. I'm not saying that the son is all great, like, Richard sucks, but you gotta stem from somewhere.
He's everybody has a victim of his surroundings.
Exactly.
Yeah, definitely. So there's a knock on the door as he's throwing the box that's not a Rolex.
I'm sorry.
I know. I'm just thinking about it. Yeah. So this I think he's the third like
the bro.
Yeah, not the one that tripped and told her broads shouldn't do broadcasting. So it's the third guy. He's bald. He's wearing a hat, and it's got like feathers, and then it's got like the raccoon tail in the back. It looks ridiculous. Ridiculous. He has a mustache. Okay. So he comes in to tell RJ that about Channel 62, that they're starting to get a pretty strong following. And RJ says, we are only in competition with other networks, not a bunch of punks broadcasting out of a closet. He says, get out of my office and take that really ridiculous thing off. The guy takes off the mustache.
Yeah, he takes off his mustache, not the hat. He literally rips off the mustache. That kind of caught me off guard, because I did not remember that from the first time I watched it. That was so funny.
That is pure Weird Al.
It literally has nothing to do with anything. It's just like the mind of Weird Al is just so intriguing to me. It's so funny.
Yeah, so he's like,
literally, he's like, ugh. And then takes off his mustache. And honestly, he looked fine with the mustache. It looked real.
It looked like it was real, yeah.
Yeah, it's real. All right.
Yeah, that's real.
So now we're back at Stanley's clubhouse. And again, it is bigger and better than ever. And let me tell you, it is not only children in that audience. There are adults in there too. And they are having the time of their lives. So we cut to little Joel Miller, who is just like this younger, he probably looks about 8 or 9 or so. Him and then 2 other older people. I don't know if they were like his grandparents or just like some random people that wanted to find this marble in the oatmeal. But Joel gets a prize because he found the marble in the oatmeal, and his prize is that he gets to get a drink from the fire hose. And the fire hose literally is going to blast this kid into outer space. So Stanley literally lifts him up, puts him on like a little, I don't know if it's like a horse.
Like those horses that we used to ride, like we would
like
have
at like the grocery store or something where you could put a quarter in it, and they're like, that's kind of what it is. And he's literally like saddled up on this horse. And they literally turn on the fire hose and he's just gone. It shoots him across the stage.
6 inches from his face. This hose is like 6 inches, and the kid goes flying across the room. Oh my god! Oh god! I can't. This poor kid.
And this next thing here is what I was talking about. Like we quote, "Oh, red snapper, very tasty." We quote that a lot, but we quote all of the time.
Yes. Yeah. Do you want to?
Oh, no, you can.
Okay. So back to Raoul's Wild Kingdom. He's outside. He's getting some animal deliveries. We got some aardvark, flamingo, porcupines, armadillos, and badgers. And Raoul goes, badgers? Badgers? We don't need no stinking badgers. Now that is a hilarious pun or whatever you want to call it, or take on, because if you know, it's from Blazing Saddles.
Yeah. Great
movie. It's one of my favorite movies. The badges, we don't need no stinking badges.
My favorite line from that movie is, like when they go up and it's like the pay toll for dimes, like you can only pass if it's dimes, but everything around the pay toll is just wide open space. He's like, we gotta go back and get a shitload of dimes. Because there's just so many of them. Oh god, I love Blazing Saddles, but we would never be able to cover it now because
I don't think people would. I mean, it's written by Richard Pryor, who's freaking genius. Oh, such a, and then him and Mel Brooks together. My goodness. Good. Oh, such gold. I mean,
such comedic gold, and the way that it's portrayed, like when people see it from an outside view, if you've never seen the movie, you don't know that it's making fun of idiot white people.
Yep.
And oh my gosh, it's just it's amazing. It's great. Yeah. Great cinema.
Yeah. So Terry comes home from her work, and George has like flowers taped to the door. It's really cute. She opens the door. There's like balloons. I love you. There's like a big thing in the center. It's like Terry and George forever, like a heart that's like flashing.
Yeah.
You know, and she's kind of like, oh, like kind of like, okay.
Oh,
like,
that's romantic. Really also, sweet. Not creepy that he barged and broke into her apartment. But
they're broken up, dude. That's scary. That is called
they're definitely not dating and entering. Definitely broken there, but you know, it's fine.
But now we're going to see another show that they're pitching. What's this show, Ireland?
Now we're not cueing Conan the Barbarian. We're working with Conan the Librarian. Yes. And it's these interactions. Like there's just like this nerdy guy. He's like, "Don't you know the Dewey Decimal System?" And he's just like, "I'm sorry, these books are a little overdue." And he literally just like mutilates him. Yeah, cuts him in half, and then.
Yeah, it's like the super nerdy guy, and he's like, where are your books on astronomy? And Conan's like, don't you know the Dewey Decimal System?
Oh, that's right.
And he like grabs him. Yeah, he grabs him.
Like the little Weasley guy was just like, excuse me?
Yeah. And then that's when the two teenagers come in and go, I'm sorry, these books are like a little late. And then he just takes his sword and cuts the guy in half. No blood or anything. It's very like, very, like so fake. It's ridiculous.
And then as soon as it's over, it literally just goes like you could just hear like the only on U62, like in the most calm like voice. But we see George at like one of those like kind of like big whiteboards here, and he's just trying to work with what would be the best schedule with all of these interesting shows that he has going on. So there are a couple of examples like Druids on Parade, Volcano Worshippers Hour, Underwater Bingo for Teens, Fun with Dirt, all of these kind of things.
That's going to be on the Friday night schedule.
Yeah, that's Friday night. Obviously with Stanley Spadowski's whatever, the fun as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Clubhouse or Funhouse. But then Bob comes in and he's just looking at the ratings and they are number 1 on the list. They have surpassed Channel 8 on the list. They beat out all of these other major networks, but we know that Channel 8 has been number 1 for, I don't know, probably 10, 15 years or so. So this is absolutely insane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And they cut again to the station and they're like, this weekend on U62, slam your way to health as you stay fit with Mike and Spike. And it's like 2 like punk rocker guys with the like hair and they're hitting each other's heads, like head banging. Bowling for burgers. A new game show. This is also hosted by Noodles. Strip Solitaire.
Noodles is a king. He literally is always fully clothed. The people that he plays, terrible.
Yeah. And then Practical Jokes and Bloopers is one of the camera guys, the guy that does the camera at, like, for Stanley Spadowski's and that, like that. Yeah.
He literally, like, trips a lady walking out of the grocery store, and then he, like, gives a thumbs up. He's like, sorry.
Like, oops, my bad.
Yeah.
And then Celebrity Mud Wrestling with this week's guest, Mikhail Gorbachev.
Perfect.
So, if you don't know who Mikhail Gorbachev is, I know Gen Xers absolutely do. He's the guy that was had the big red birthmark on his head.
Yeah, that guy. I was gonna say I've heard it before, but I didn't know who it was. I know exactly who you're talking about now.
Yeah, he was the I think it Russia.
Yeah, I think so.
Bad with, like,
I was gonna say, do not clock us if we're wrong. We know we're bad with this.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure
I don't really know.
Like the head guy.
Social studies was always my worst subject in school. Okay, so don't blame me.
And I think in Naked Gun, they grab his head. They have another Mikhail Gorbachev because he's got the red thing on his head, and he like wipes it off.
Probably. That's funny.
Poor Mikhail. Not really. So RJ's in a meeting. Sad day for Channel 8. Losing sponsors, losing valuable advertising, revenue, and credibility. We got to do something fast. And then we cut to Uncle Harvey just laying out in the pool. Who gives him a call?
Oh yeah, so Big Louie. So I feel like he's just like the big boss, kind of in charge of like the horse races and stuff like that. He just is like he definitely has a lot of power. A bookie, exactly. But we never see this man. We only see like the behind shot outline, whatever. So Big Louie gives Uncle Harvey a call, and this time it's not a happy call because last time we talked to Big Louie, he won big. It was wonderful. All of his horses hit. This time, not a single one of his horses hit. And Uncle Harvey is still like just like balling in the pool, even though he just heard he lost. He's like, okay, well, you know what? What's the damage? And Big Louie tells him $75,000 is the damage, which Uncle Harvey doesn't take down too well because I feel like he didn't expect it to be that bad. So this man is literally drowning himself in the pool. The phone's falling in the water. Yeah. And what makes it worse is not only does he owe this really dangerous man $75,000, but he needs it in 2 days. And you know Uncle Harvey does not have that kind of money, especially because it needs to be in cash.
Yep. And then, R.J. Fletcher happens to call Uncle Harvey right after this happens. So of course he right place, right time for RJ. So the next day, RJ is at Channel 62 and he's measuring like in between George and Bob, and George is like, what the hell are you doing?
How did they get this man in here? They didn't even notice him at first. He's just like with the measuring tape.
They're like, why are you here? And then RJ says he owns the station now. Uncle Harvey is flying in tonight to close the deal. He's going to turn it into a parking lot is what it looks like he says. So Uncle Harvey is leaving his house, and he kisses Aunt Esther goodbye. He's like, I'll just be back in a couple days, honey. And she's like, okay. And then he leaves to get into the cab, and the phone rings, and it's George. And he's telling her, basically tattling, like, Uncle Harvey's selling the station to this guy. And then you hear Esther go, hey, what? Harvey Belichick, get in here. And he's just getting into the cab, and he's like, shh.
He's like, 1 second.
He's like, 1 second. And George is basically just asking, can you give me a couple days or a chance
Give me a chance, yeah.
to buy it for 75,000, buy it from you instead of RJ buying it from you. And of course, Aunt Esther's like, you better.
Yeah, girl.
Yeah.
You know who runs this house, and we know it's Aunt Esther.
Yeah, and he says, Harvey says, okay, you need $75,000 by Friday night in cash, and he says, okay, I'll do it. And then Harvey's like, okay, I agree then. So then Uncle Harvey takes off to fly out by RJ. And then George says, if only there was a way to keep an eye on Fletcher, RJ Fletcher. Of course, Philo's kind of listening in the background, and he disappears. And then we see Philo in the ceiling of the Channel 8 right above RJ's office, and he like drills like a hole, and then he puts like a camera in there so he can tape what's going on in his office. And then RJ leaves his office with the $75,000 in his briefcase. And that's when Philo does, like, he's up there waiting for him to leave, and then he does the whole thing. RJ meets Harvey at the airport, and he's like, we'll just talk business right here. I've got the thing to sign, and I've got the cash. Let's go. And Uncle Harvey's like, not so fast. I gave my nephew till Friday to match this offer, and if he can, I'm going to give it to him. And he's like, what the? Ooh, we had a verbal agreement, blah, 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 blah. And he just gets into Uncle Harvey just gets into like a nice car and just, bye, leaving RJ at the airport. And then it looks like George has maybe updated a little bit his talk of the town, or town talk with George. What kind of stuff is he going to talk about this time?
So the lead-in is, no context, sex with furniture. What do you think? So we watch while like the contents of Al Capone's glove compartment gets unlocked.
He unlocks it and he goes, road maps.
Yes. I'm like, this man, I don't understand.
I'll tell you who they're making fun of in a second.
Okay. The problem is like in the 80s, Gen Zers don't really know what's going on here. He blew the lid off of Satanism. Let's see. Oh gosh.
It says he's sometimes shocking, but always controversial. And that's that. So what it's kind of like a Jerry Springer thing, because at the very end they show like priests and KKK members, like just a whole bunch of different groups, and they're fighting, throwing chairs. One guy hits the KKK guy on his head, and his like cone goes like all the way like down his thing. And the whole Al Capone thing, that was no, I'm not going to be able to say his name. Geraldo Rivera.
Okay.
He was a talk show host. His whole thing was I believe it was getting into Al Capone's safe. He was live for like 2 freaking days. People could not wait for this to happen. I mean, people watched it. It was like live fed for like 2 days straight. Yeah. I forget how many. And do you know what they found in there?
What'd they find?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
You're stupid.
So you've got all these people. I mean, it was like tons of people. Even I remember my parents watching it.
Yeah.
And I was like interested too. I'm like, ooh, I wonder if they find like gold and stuff, because it's this huge safe, and they took them days to break into it. Yeah, and it was nothing. It was like papers and stuff, but like just like garbage. That's all it was. So that's the play on that.
Okay, I was like, I literally have no idea, and honestly, I think I blacked out a little bit.
Because Weird Al thinks about what he puts stuff in. He's always absolutely. He's always parodying something. So
what are the people gonna remember? What are they gonna see? So we see George just kind of like sitting on the front steps of the station. He's trying to figure out, what the heck am I going to be able to do in order to raise $75,000, because we have not even close to that. Even though the station is doing great, I don't even know how much money they would possibly be making, and whatever money they're making, they're probably just putting right back into the station. So Stanley, of course, our sweet little angel baby, is asking, is there anything that I can do? And this man is literally the face of this channel. He is the reason that this channel has been kept on for so long. And George is basically like, well, bro, you can't really do much unless you can just pay me the $75,000. And Stanley literally physically checks his pockets. He's like, I don't know if I have that much money. He's like, let me check. Let me confer with the bank. And he's just looking in his pockets. And George is just like, you know what? I think I've seen something like this before. I have an idea. Of course, this man is a daydreamer. Of course he has an idea. And now we cut to the Channel U62 telethon.
Telethons were big back in the 80s. Yeah, so they're offering, what they are doing is pretty cool. So they're offering people, audience members or whoever, shares of stock. So for $10. So if they sell $7,500 or 7,500 shares of stock, they'll have the 75,000. It's going really great because Stanley's on there for his clubhouse and everything like that. And RJ's pissed. Cuts to RJ. He's super pissed that it's time to pay Stanley a visit. So you get the goons. It's the two
it's definitely the one friend that
it's the one guy, the broads shouldn't be in broadcasting guy. He's like the sleaziest looking guy. He looks like the sleaziest guy. And it's like one guy looks like he may be a hitman, and then two other guys that are just like, the muscle or whatever. And Stanley's like sitting outside of the studio, not outside, but like where the desk area. And it's like, there's somebody knocks on the door and says, pizza. He's like, pizza for Stanley Spadowski. And he goes, oh, that's me. And so when he opens it, of course, it's not the pizza guy. They put like a thing over his head.
Like a sack or whatever.
Yeah, a sack over his head. And then they take off with him. And you're like, oh, no. And he's got the thing on. He's talking. He's like, oh, the guy's like, the one like hitman guy is like, okay, when are we going to kill him? And the sleazy guy, who's the broad guy, we're just call him Sleazy Guy. Sleazy Guy and Hitman are the only two guys that really talk in these scenes. So Sleazy Guy's like, no, easy. We're not going to kill him. We just got to keep him out of the way till this telethon fails. And so he's like,
because it wasn't doing too bad. Like their telethon was like, they were actually, earning monies. They cut to Stanley like having a sweet little conversation with like probably like an older lady, because he's like, on his end of the phone, he's like, oh, of course you can bring your dogs, and like blah blah blah, like he's answering like cute, and like he's such a genuine person, and everybody at Channel 62 is a genuine person. However, the only thing that's really slowing them down is these really annoying, not annoying, but like kind of boring bits that they have going on, because we know that Stanley is the face of this show. So of course George was trying to prep him, and then of course Stanley got snatched up. So not great. So of course George knows that in order to even be able to reach his goal, they need to find Stanley, because he is the face of this channel. And he's like, sorry, Pamela girl, you got to stall as long as you can. And there's like, they have like a man like upside down yodeling while he's playing like the ukulele. They have just like, they had like the two like stilts. Yes, the guy on stilts. They had like the two like broad guys that they had like the show, like the Spike and whatever, and they were just like doing some weird stuff. I don't know. It's just not great. So we cut back to Stanley. He's tied up and he is causing a commotion. So they are just like, dude, somebody shut this guy up. And then they just put him in the closet, because they're just passing the time. They're not going to kill him. At least that's what they think, right? So they're just passing the time. They're playing some poker, and then they just shove him in the closet because they don't want to hear him talk anymore.
Yep. And then we get to see a commercial on U62. It's a commercial for Gandhi 2. He's out to kick some butt. He's a one-man wrecking crew, but also knows how to party.
Yes, because when I think Gandhi, that's what I think. I love it.
Gandhi 2.
Oh, Gandhi 2.
Oh, that's great. And then we see RJ. RJ, I think he's coming out of the station. And one character, he's a small character. So when George was trying to go see RJ the first time when he had that box, he runs into I just want to say homeless man.
Yeah, because when he was showing Terry the channel 62 for the very first time, because he was like, when the door was open, he's like, "See, it's open. We have a warm welcome." And like, girl, that's kind of scary.
Yeah.
Like, so like this homeless man pops up out of the corner when him and Terry get there for the first time, and he's like, "Do you have change for $1?" And of course, like, we're thinking, like, oh, okay, you know, he's digging in his pocket. George gives him some change. And this homeless man literally counts every single cent of the change as like 82, 85, $1. And then he gives him the dollar in cash
and paper bill,
their change. Yes.
That's what
it's just like a cute little exchange. Like, he's a sweetie.
Yeah. So we do see the same man. He goes up to RJ. He's like, "Please, mister, I just need some change. I just need some change." And he's like, "No, get away from me. Like, gross.
Of course.
And he's like, "Fine." And he gives him a penny. He's like, "There you go. Don't spend it all in one place." Typical asshole guy, The man looks at the penny and goes, "Thanks, mister." And he's like super happy and he leaves. He's just super happy to have a penny. So even though RJ wanted him to feel like crap, he did not feel like crap. So Terry bursts into RJ's office to tell him that George made the station what it is, and there is room for them both in the community. She's sticking up for her man that she's not technically back together with.
We love that.
So Philo starts taping this because he's like, "I think RJ is going to say some stuff." So RJ says this community means about as much to him as a bowl of festering dog snot. And then he keeps going on ripping on the community. Like, "I could care less about these people. These people are just like money to me. I don't give a crap." So.
Just everything you would expect from an old white man that has been privileged since the day he got pushed out the womb.
Yeah.
So, pretty much sums it up. So now we cut back to Stanley still being tied up, still in the closet, but now his bandana for his blindfold fell off. And Stanley makes it a point saying like, "Oh, guys, my blindfold is falling off. Can somebody please help me?" And this, when they cut to him, it's literally like in his mouth. He's literally like he's got it. And these men are so annoyed by this man because Stanley's a talker. I'm a talker too, girl, but he is definitely a talker. And these guys are like, "We need to shut him up. So somebody go deal with him or I'm literally going to cut his tongue out and I'm literally going to kill this man." And when his blindfold is falling off and these, goonies are talking to each other and all that, he literally spots from across the room his mop. Not the new and improved mop. His mop from when he was 8 years old at his birthday. Okay, so he is crazy. He has his strength, and he literally breaks through the rope that he's tied to on the chair. He sprints across the room, is throwing these guys around just to get to his mop. He reunites with his mop, and now he is just kind of running around in the warehouse.
Yep. And as they're chasing him and everything, they run to RJ's office. He runs to RJ's office to hide, and puts all like this stuff. He puts a book on top of it, like that's gonna help. It's like,
and then they break through the window,
and the one guy just throws a thing through the window, a chair through the window, and Philo sees this. First he doesn't see it because he's doing something. Then he finally sees it, and he goes to get George. Like, "Oh gosh, we gotta like save him. This is where Stanley is," and George is like, "I'll handle this." So he runs out of the studio. He turns into Rambo, literally. He's got like this like body suit thingy on that's all muscles, and he's got
man turns into He-Man like real quick.
Yeah, but he still has his glasses on. He still has his glasses. So he's basically Rambo with glasses. A guy. So it's basically now they're in like a war zone for some reason. It's literally like it has like a prison and
his imagination is running wild.
Yes, his imagination is definitely running wild. So there's a guy shooting at him with a machine gun, and he keeps like going closer to the guy, and he's not like getting shot, and he goes like
6 inches away from this man with this machine gun that he literally is holding a bow and arrow.
Yeah, and he shoots the bow and arrow like 5 feet from the guy. and the guy just explodes, but you see his like boots left with like
they're smoking.
And then George rescues Stanley from the prison. I know he's just sitting in this prison, like this dark prison, poor guy. And then shoots all the bad guys. Like there's a whole bunch of bad guys on this like hill, and he just shoots like the machine gun one time, and they all like go bloop 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 bloop, and they're all like dead in one shot. One guy picks up a gun, and George catches the bullet in his mouth. He's like, and then he shoots the guy, and the guy blows up.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Simple.
They take off in the helicopter, him and Stanley. RJ just happens to be in another helicopter, and they're like face to face, and RJ's like, wah, ha, 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 ha. So he blows up RJ's helicopter, and then it has him going through and blowing up like the like Sphinx, the Eiffel
literally
Tower,
like the 7 wonders of the world.
pretty much. Yeah, it's like he's not stopping at RJ's helicopter. He's literally like everything's blowing up. And then it cuts back to George, of course, bursting into RJ's office where the goons are sitting, and they're like, who's this guy? And he says in a Stallone's voice,
I'm your worst nightmare.
And then they take George hostage.
Yeah, he's just a wimpy little guy, it is what it is. So they take him in hostage here, and they basically threaten to take him and Stanley out of commission here, and they're basically like, what is that part there? The red room.
Okay, so yeah, I've got a thing about this too at the end.
I figured.
So like he's talking to the what did we call him? What was his name? Sleazy guy. The sleazy guy. Him. And he's like, yeah, we're gonna have to get rid of you. And then Weird Al's character just goes, red rum, and the guy's face is like,
literally, what are we talking about?
And then it just cuts away. And then somebody's here to save the day.
Oh my
God.
Someone
saying, what's that sound? What is that sound, Ireland?
It's our man Cooney. Remember? Red snapper. Very tasty. So Cooney, and he brought the rest of his karate school to come beat these guys up and save the day.
Yeah.
So now we are all reunited. They all come with Stanley, George, all these other people are kind of coming and cheering that we broke Stanley out of being kidnapped here.
Yep. And the scene with all those like Jeeps and stuff coming, it definitely reminds me of like Footloose when they all come to the dance and they all pull up in their cars and their pickup trucks and stuff. That kind of reminds me of that. So RJ goes into his office to see the 4 guys knocked out all over the office. Like the whole office is just trashed.
Yeah.
And then Stanley gives a speech to the crowd outside of and says Channel 8 is evil. And of course the crowd is pumped up and they agree with everything he's like, yeah. And then RJ tries to savage. I'm thinking of Randy Savage. Macho Man.
Oh yeah.
RJ tries to salvage his channel. So he goes on air. He's like, there's a special announcement I gotta tell you guys. It will shock you. How a small TV station could disrupt. Oh my God. Disrupt a community. What you're about to see may shock you. And they show a clip, and what's the clip of?
So instead of what RJ thinks is going to be put up on the screen, it is actually a clip of what Philo had put into, remember when he was drilling the camera into RJ's office? RJ, of course, because he's a classy lad, was talking about how much he hates the community and could care less and just cares about money, and they are worth about a bowl of festering dog snot. And this is exactly what we see right now. We see that recording of RJ just absolutely talking trash about his own community in front of the entire community.
Yeah. And we just see we do see this is important too,
Mhm.
semi-important. So we do see one of like this little old lady watching it with like her tray, and she's like, oh, she's like, she's like really pissed off about RJ, you know. So they're just showing the people's reaction and stuff like that. But
Yeah.
go ahead, sorry.
No, that's fine because she's funny. But yeah, so now we're just, ooh, yikes. RJ is not looking good. But Channel 62 is still making its money. They have made up to $73,000 so far. I think it was like $73,267 or something like that. And Terry comes back. She's like, oh my gosh, like, you know, like they haven't seen each other since they broke up. George is like, what the hell are you doing here? I thought you never wanted to see me again. And she goes, what gave you that idea? And he goes, because you told me you never wanted to see me again. But she just knows how hard he has worked. And he hasn't been in a job probably ever this long in his entire life in the same job. So she is seeing some personal growth from him. And she just basically comes up and tells him, like, you know, I am so proud of what you are doing here. Like, these people care about you. I care about you. I'm so proud. I've never seen you care about something so much. And George is, like, panicking because you are so close. You are literally so close to your goal. And George is literally getting the itch. This is when we see like Big Louie kind of pull up in a limo just in the middle of the crowd of people, just like parting the Red Sea. Like he's pulling up in his limousine. Uncle Harvey is here because of course that contribution needs to be made for the $75,000 in cash. And George is just begging Uncle Harvey, like, please, can I be like 5 minutes late or just a couple minutes late? Like, we need this money.
Yeah, he has 2 minutes left.
Yes, and Uncle Harvey's not trying to lose a leg or blow out his kneecaps, so he's like, sorry, dude, we had a deal. It has to be by 10 p.m.
Yep. And you see it cuts to RJ. He's trying to fight through this crowd. So he's slowly fighting through this crowd. And then he tries to say something to the people, like he's going to change the station into a laundromat and they will thank him later. Like he's like, because he's like, oh, it's too late. You can't get $2,000, you know, like in 2 minutes. And meanwhile, our homeless man asked George if it's too late to buy shares. And George is kind of like, at first he kind of like, oh, not right now, because he's feeling really crappy because he's like, RJ just is going to turn this into a laundromat.
And he's a goofy dude. Like, this homeless man is not serious.
Yeah,
literally.
He's like high all the time, kind of. So he tells him he asks him if it's too late to buy shares. He has $2,000 on him. And George's like, what? And then George takes the 2,000, gives him like the shares, and he runs to his uncle. Like he runs to Bob to get the money because they had 73,000 in the duffel bag in a suitcase. He's got the 2,000 cash in his hand, and he runs to his uncle and he's like, I got it, you know. And the uncle signs over the station, and he runs it to Big Louie. And he's like, here you go, Mr. Louie, Mr. Big Louie, sir. My uncle wanted you to have this. It's all there. And he's like, okay, you know, okay.
Yeah,
and then he's done. Money. And then RJ's like, whoa, what's going on here? We had a deal, like, because George's like, I own the station. He goes, we own the station. He puts the thing up, goes, we own the station. Everybody cheers because everybody that's there bought a share of the stock. And he's like, what the hell's going on here? You know, I'm going to sue you. We had a verbal agreement. And somebody else wants to talk to RJ. Who's that?
Oh, gosh. Wait a second. No, you go. Sorry.
Okay. I was like, because FCC won't let me be. Let me be. So let me see. Yeah. So
that guy, the briefcase guy.
Yes.
So the FCC, so the people that are in charge of regulating all of this, right, that are analyzing the advertising and the shares and all of these things and keeping their license to be a licensed channel. So the FCC is here to talk to RJ, and RJ is already feeling shitty because he just missed out on the opportunity. But now he has just been told that, you know what, you're late for filing your station license. So, you know, if this wasn't your first offense, and honestly, if you were just a normal person, there would just be a fine. But because he had been watching him lately, probably watched that expose of that recording. And, you know, that made a really big impression on this FCC representative. And he's just going to take him off of the air completely. Goodbye. You're done.
You're off the air.
Mm-hmm.
Bye. Yep. And then we see Pamela with the camera in RJ's face talking about what happened. Like, oh, you just lost this and they closed down your station. How does it feel? You know, basically. She goes, what do you have to say about it, you worthless slobbering pig? And he's like, he doesn't say anything. And then Richard, his son, comes around and he's like, Dad, where's my dad?
Literally says it just like that.
Yes, exactly.
Surprised he's not saying like daddy. He's like, Daddy. Please.
And oh no, what happens to Richard?
Yeah, so this man, first of all, the weakest run I've ever seen in my life. He literally trips and falls in the mud, and this mud is just like so like runny and unrealistic, but like his entire face is full of mud and it's like dripping. And he literally is just like, Dad, he's like crying.
But who did the tripping?
Oh, don't worry. Mr. Noodles, who got tripped and you remember scraped his elbow on those concrete stairs when they were trying to talk to the mayor or whoever it was. Noodles, it cuts to him and he goes, oh, did I do that? Oopsie. Sorry.
And then he's like, Dad.
Yeah, just whining. Literally, shut up.
And then George tells Philo that, you know, thank you for all your hard work. And Philo says, it appears my work on this planet is complete. I must now return to my home on planet Zarkon. And George is like, okay, have fun. And he just turns around, him and Terry turn around, and you see Philo walk off into the distance, and then it turns to his face. He turns into an alien.
Yeah, the total like Mars Attacks vibe going on.
Or the large Marge sent you, like kind of.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. And teleports out of there. So he was an alien.
Hey, thanks for your service, bud.
Yeah. And then we get to see this queen again.
Here's our old lady who was dropping her basket when she was watching all of this going on.
Yep. Yeah, she so the elderly lady that was watching RJ call everybody snot, you know, a festering bowl of snot. She comes up and she goes, "Oh, excuse me. Are you RJ? RJ Fletcher?" And he says, "Yes." And then she just like kicks him right in the groin real hard. He's like, "Oh!" And then she just leaves. She's like, "Thank you.
Bye. Bye.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then to get another knife into RJ's day, the homeless man pays him a visit. What does he tell RJ?
Yeah, so the homeless man comes up to RJ and he is just like the happiest little guy in the world. He literally goes up, he goes, "Hey, I remember you. You're that guy that gave me that 1955 double die Denver mint penny." And as he's saying this, you just see RJ's face. He's like, "What?" And he just goes like, "Oh, thanks a lot, mister. That thing was worth a fortune." And not only did he cash it in so he could buy a bunch of shares, so he's the reason that they went over the $75,000 so they can buy the channel back. But before he had that extra $2,000 to buy those shares, he also bought a really neat watch. And he bought a Rolex watch, which is the RJ watch that he wanted. RJ was the one that was throwing the fit at his son and screaming in his face because for Father's Day, he wanted a Rolex. Now look who has a Rolex. Mr. Homeless Man. King.
Not RJ.
No, definitely not RJ.
Yeah. So he starts crying. RJ starts crying. And then the homeless guy just gives him like a hug and he's like crying into his shoulder. He's like, and then George and Terry talk, and Terry asks George about the dreams that he always has, like maybe she could be a part of them sometimes. And he's like, I would like for you to be part of them all the time. And she says, then they show them like dressed like Scarlett O'Hara and Rhett Butler. Yeah, and he says,
George.
he says she's going to be in all of them. And she says, but let's wait for tomorrow. And he says, but why? And she says, because tomorrow is another day, which is the last line of the movie. Yeah. Yeah. And then they kiss, and then that's the end.
And that's it.
Yeah, I didn't see anything after credits. I let the whole credits run. I didn't see anything. But I want to get to the box office stuff because this is really, really interesting.
Yeah, it's fascinating.
Yeah, my husband's like, I need you to check something on this too when you do your box office stuff. So it was released July 21st, 1989. The budget was $5 million. And for the opening weekend, it made $2,251,831. And the gross worldwide was $6,157,157.
Okay.
All right. I mean,
at least it grossed like something, I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So July is usually a big month to get the 4th of July weekend. Just summer releases. That's when back in the day when there was only theaters. There was no streaming at home. There was only movie rentals like Blockbuster. But you had to. Oh my God, you had to wait like 3-4 5 months till they came to the video store, and they only had like 3 copies, and they were always out on it. It was awful. So who they were up against in the summer, and these are almost all July releases, just random July weeks. So Batman, the one with Michael Keaton, so the good Batman.
Good Batman.
The Tim Burton Batman. Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade, which is the 3rd Indiana Jones, but still, I mean, people that love Indiana Jones are seeing that movie.
Yes, and it has to say part of the series, like they have to see it.
Ghostbusters 2. When Harry Met Sally.
That's crazy.
Which we know that was a huge movie. Lethal Weapon 2. Now, Lethal Weapon was a huge movie as well, so this is the second one, so people are wanting to see that. And Honey, I Shrunk the Kids as well. Which for kids, that's a good kids movie to take your kids to. So parents would, they were
friendly.
Yeah. And then Weekend at Bernie's was also released in the same summer, like close, like either the end of June or like, yeah. That's what they were stacked against. So the fact that they made $6 million is still pretty great in 1989, considering what they were up against. These like half of these are Oscar winners, you know.
And this is like a parody. Like this is probably what paved the way for like Scary Movie and like that kind of stuff. I know this is plenty of years ahead from that. But like the odds are stacked up against them because this is unlike any kind of movie that they've really seen before. I don't know. Well, when did Naked Gun come out? Because maybe that was kind of similar things. Was that 90s or 80s? I don't remember. But it's giving the same feel. So it only fits like a particular, kind of group.
It's that great parody stuff. So it was filmed on location in Tulsa, Oklahoma. The Dire Straits helped record the parody of their own song for the film.
That's really cool. I love when people do that. I think that's awesome.
And when they tested this movie, it actually tested better with audiences than RoboCop. If you know, RoboCop was a huge another one.
Like everybody knows that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
So UHF was rated PG-13, which the studio felt negatively impacted the film. Weird Al absolutely refused to take anything out of his movie, like that wasn't going to be cut. Here's what made it PG-13. So it was the poodles being thrown out, the guy getting cut in half,
Conan the Librarian.
Shit, it's literally a parody on a parody in a parody,
right.
And the guy doing the woodwork.
And his finger comes up with his thumb, and it's just like squirting everywhere. Yeah,
there was like, it was supposed to be a longer scene, so they did cut some of the scene. Like the guy picks up his like finger and he's like, oh, okay, and he puts it in his pocket. So that actor, I believe his last name is Phillips, Emo Phillips. He's very obviously
eccentric,
unique looking, eccentric man. He was on Weird Al used to have a show. And he was on his show, and he proudly brought his 30-cent royalty check from the UH movie. Every time they air UHF,
Yeah.
He gets a 30-cent check, and he wanted to thank Weird Al for
That's crazy.
that being in that film for just that short of time, really jump started his career. So
Aw,
yeah, so he's very happy. I love
that is
that.
awesome.
So if you didn't know, Weird Al's character George Newman was named after Alfred E. Newman, who was the Mad Magazine mascot. Yeah.
Nice.
Um, so Dr. Demento. Now, if you remember, Dr. Demento is mentioned in Teen Witch when she's making fun of the cousin in his bow tie. Who are you, Dr. Demento? Remember that part? Okay.
Yeah.
So Dr. Demento is like a radio personality, and he always wears bow ties. So that's where that joke from Teen Witch came. But he gave Weird Al his big break when he played the then 16-year-old's novelty song Belvedere Cruising on his radio show in 1976. So
That's
he
cool.
gave Weird Al his big break. So he did have a cameo in the movie, but it's a blink and you'll miss it cameo. I don't know if you saw when Stanley had, I think it was like the fire hose episode. Someone in the crowd, he like sprays whipped cream into their mouth.
Yeah, and yeah. As he's in the crowd, like, and
Yes.
Stanley squirting.
Yep.
That's him.
Yep, that's him. He was credited as whipped
What a
cream
cameo.
eater. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Which is cute. For the shot of Spatula City billboard, because that was a real billboard, production bought a billboard on a super remote stretch of highway for months after the movie. Drivers would take the exit and ask local businesses about it, like, where's Spatula City?
Oh my God, they're like, we drove all the way here.
Yeah.
The Spatula City.
And it was finally taken down after all these businesses were like, okay, this is bullcrap. Like, we're getting asked for no reason. People are just asking it for the movie. Kind of like the pizza throwing on the house for the Walter White. What's that?
What, Breaking Bad?
Yeah, Breaking Bad. I can't think.
What?
Yeah, I know. My brain's like, getting old is fun.
No, it's okay, because as a chemistry teacher, I get do you know how to make meth? What? Why it's the first day. I'm going through the syllabus. Why would you ask me that? No, but I love Breaking Bad.
Yeah. I'll literally drop everything, go into a room, and I'll be like, why was I in this room? Why did I need to go here? Why did I need to go here? And I'll go back downstairs, and then I'll think of it again.
Remember.
Yeah. Yep. And then real fish were attached to the wheel of fish.
Oh, red snapper.
But they did this at 6 a.m, and they weren't really filming until about 4 p.m. So these real fish were sitting in a studio with no air conditioning, with the studio lights on them. So they would the actors would like you to know that they got really ripe.
Ew.
That'd be so gross.
Disgusting.
No wonder Weaver wanted the boxes of the fish.
No,
So,
right?
thank
Phyllis
you.
was like, girl, give me the box.
So the red rum, was not scripted at all. Weird Al just did it to be funny, and the actor's reaction is genuine. What did he say?
Yeah, like what the heck?
Yeah, yep.
I
So,
love that.
Yep. So that's UHF.
Did you know that Weird Al has 4 Grammys?
It doesn't surprise me.
I didn't know that. Like, I didn't realize that he actually had, like, full on, like, I know he had albums. I'm not stupid. But I didn't realize that he had such a following. Like, I don't know what the Grammys were for. Like, I know one of them was for his most, like, not most recent, but, like, in 2018, I think he released a album or something, and then that won something. I don't know if it was, like, comedic album or whatever. But, like, 4 Grammys? That's pretty impressive.
And he always played the accordion. He was an accordion player.
Yes. Which also is very impressive.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's just. I hope he's not canceled for anything, right? Because I absolutely love him.
Honestly, I have no idea, but if I haven't really heard anything, I don't think so. I mean, I'm sure there's contradictory stuff with everybody, but like,
Yeah.
I hope he's not a jerk. I
Yeah.
really like him. I love my nerdy white boys, though. Like, I grew up loving Adam Sandler. I grew up loving Weird Al, like that kind of.
I loved his parodies. And then, I forgot to say one of the things I skipped over. Because of UHF, Nirvana was like, you can make a parody of one of our songs. They allowed him to do it because of UHF. So I thought that was really
That's
cool.
so cool.
And I was watching like a thing on Vegas or something, and the New Kids on the Block are at MGM or something.
Okay.
And they were singing The Right Stuff. And it reminded me of the Oreo. Oh, Oreo. What's in the middle? The white stuff. And I couldn't get it out of my head. I was like, oh my God,
Oh my gosh.
genius. Yeah. Yeah, I think the only one he did a parody of that wasn't happy was the Gangster's Paradise, the Amish Paradise.
Amish Paradise.
Yeah, Coolio was not happy about that.
Oh,
But
really?
I would be.
It's amazing.
That was his best
the one. I
like,
know word for word.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's an honor to
for sure
to have something like even be like the way Saturday Night Live will do. Not obviously not the politic part of it.
Yeah,
they're ripping on them. That. Yeah, but like when they did the Mark Wahlberg, say hello to your mother for me. And then Mark Wahlberg came on and like did what
I know. I love when they like can make fun of themselves. Like I love that.
Yes. So actors, please.
But also like Coolio, like what is he doing? Like I'm pretty sure the last time I saw him, he was. Oh wait, no, that's so true. He died. No, that's so true. Rip. Okay. So I mean, like before then,
Oh yeah.
The last time I had saw him was on Celebrity Wife Swap.
Yeah, that's probably the last time. Yeah, he had that Fantastic Voyage song too. That was really good.
The which one?
The Fantastic Voyage. Slide, slippity slide. Come along, I'm fantastic. No.
I don't know that one.
Put that on your Spotify
I know a lot of music. I do not know that one.
Is your phone by you?
Yeah, I'm using it to record.
Play Fantastic Voyage by Coolio.
Oh my god. Oh, Rip Coolio. I didn't know that, but the last time I saw this man was on Celebrity Wife Swap, so.
Yeah. Oh, and then we also are very aware that, what's his name? Michael Richards, is that his name?
Oh, yeah.
He's canceled. We're very aware of that.
Oh,
so when we were like, oh, he's so cute. His character was cute.
He's not cute. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So I want to be thinking like, oh my god, he's just like a racist piece of shit. Yes, he is.
No. Yeah. But also, well, absolutely. That. No. I'm always talking about the character. But also the whole time of the movie, especially in the beginning when we first meet Stanley, my only thing I could think of was, are his teeth real?
I don't think so.
Okay, because those are like that were big teeth. Yeah. And I don't remember that in Seinfeld. Like I really don't. Like that was, I don't know.
Yeah, I think they did it.
That was the first thought I had. I was like, are those fake or real?
To make his talking like almost like Mr. Ed like.
Yes, like, exactly.
I think that's what they were going for. So, yeah. But yeah, that's UHF. Great classic. I'm gonna have to put Hot Shots Part 2 on the list.
Yeah, I always think about that one, but it's such a classic.
Airplane.
Oh yeah.
You just Naked Gun.
All those.
The original. I love Liam Neeson though. I do love Liam Neeson.
I do too.
And yeah. So do we know what we want to do next time?
What were we between last time? You were like, oh, let's do UHF or this one. And we picked UHF, and I don't remember what the other one was. We have so many movies on this list. No one ever gives us recommendations, so now we're just going full throttle.
One of our 10 subscribers. Come on, guys.
Come on. Oh, we were going to do She-Devil. Ooh. It was either She-Devil, like Hello Again, one of those. I think it was between She-Devil and this one. So we
Yes, it was She-Devil. Let me make sure She-Devil is on something to watch. Tubi's been coming in like clutch, yeah. Let's see.
And then after this, I'm gonna watch High Potential because I am so ready for her and what's his name, Kara.
Oh yeah, it's on Pluto, Roku channel, Tubi, Prime Video to rent or buy, but Tubi, Roku, and then the Pluto TV. So
perfect.
Yeah, that's with Meryl Streep and Roseanne Barr.
Yeah, Roseanne.
Yeah. Roseanne, it's a good movie. And then we're gonna be taping another episode of It's Florida Man. It's one's called Toes. What's the other one?
Toes. The other one is Saucy. That's the other one is Saucy. So if that doesn't entice you, honestly, those episodes are so. We always have such a good time doing movies because we've grown up watching the weirdest, but funny movies, right? But that show is so fun to cover.
Yeah,
so fun.
Yeah, I haven't found too many people covering it. I mean, I'm sure there's 8,000 trillion that are doing it, but yeah, like I haven't. None of the podcasts that I listen to have done it. But I have a very select few that I listen to. All right. So She Devil it is next week. So we hope you liked the episode. Like, subscribe. That so helps us. Even the littlest subscribe on each one of our platforms would be great. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, YouTube. We want to grow a channel. We really like doing this. We know we're never going to get to the point where we can make this our job.
I was going to say, can somebody please at least give me a little bit? You have to know I'm a teacher, so I don't make that much. Please.
Yeah. So it would just be great. Maybe tell some friends, like, listen to these two crazy ladies. That would be lovely. So again, thanks for joining us. For this episode of Butterscotch Rewatch, I am Katie, the Gen X mother.
I'm Ireland, the Gen Z daughter.
And we'll catch you next time. Maybe Grease 2 next time.
No, never Grease 2. Never Grease 2.
I am going to try to fit Grease 2 into every single goodbye.
No.
I'm going to do it.
Here.
Yeah.
Disgusting. Anyway,
keep loving Grease 2. Bye, guys.
No, bye.